to the scope. This has been a week in the making, and just before we begin, I'm with Max at the Mahjong, and they've kindly donated this space to me, so I can sit here and chat very casually, like Max is doing, and it's a very peaceful environment. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo, yo.
Okay, so the Mahjong, by the way, is a boutique hotel in Hong Kong. It's like a capsule hotel, so you can share rooms, and it's actually quite kind of cheap for the area that it's in. Yo, Pickles is here. Yo, Pickles.
Yo, Pickles.
There's a guy here doing photography, and his name is @npicklesphoto, and he does these great photos on the side. I'll flip the camera here. Look at this.
Do we all have to go over there?
No. I'll flip the camera, Max. Look at these. See?
Yeah, go close.
Pickles
photo. About you, law of attraction.
Yeah.
Law of attraction. Total law of attraction.
This is a nice place if you want to visit here. I featured you on Facial Talent. Me? Was this what you were talking about before? Okay, this is the advert thing. And Ray is here as well off camera, but we're going to be speaking first, myself and Max, and then
I hope you don't expect me to read that little writing over there.
No, I don't expect you to read it. It's okay.
Because I sure can't.
How was the vegan breakfast?
I didn't have vegan breakfast.
I can't hear you.
Oh, I didn't have vegan breakfast. I had a vegetarian breakfast.
As a vegetarian, well, I'm just going to quickly jump in there. As a vegetarian visiting Hong Kong, how easy have you found it?
Well, all my friends here have been so great because they've taken me to every single vegetarian restaurant, and it's been great. It's been great. Yesterday at the university, we got to have vegetarian food, and then we went to the Happy Veggies, and I learned all about the deaf people, and it was great. It's been really easy, actually, super easy.
And that's what we want to talk about today, because I think Max's holiday, and you'll probably agree with me, has been made so much easier because you've already made these connections online on Periscope, and then you hit the ground running. I picked you up at the airport. I took you to my house first, then I took you to your place, and then boom, we're having dinner with the rest of the Hong Kong Scopers.
Yeah, immediately we get here and we're like, we're gonna go have dim sum. Here we go. And I was like, okay. After a 15-hour flight, we jumped right in. It was great. And we went to your apartment, went to the hellhole called the Chungking Mansion, and and then we were
another reason to come here.
Yeah, come here. Don't do the Chungking Mansions. I thought I was going to save some money, a day or two, but more than that, no. Now I'm staying at the beautiful Eaton Hotel, which I'm loving. So it's all good.
Well, Melanie wants to take control.
Yeah,
What was your first thought of Max, and what was your first thought of me? But not in Hong Kong. Let's go back to the origins, to the beginnings of Periscope. So I'm going to integrate your question to some of my questions, Melanie. You saw me first. You were following me first.
Yes.
For a long time as well. Mm-hmm. But what was your
thought of you?
First thoughts, and also talk about the app in its less mature days.
Okay, let me just share on Facebook. Okay. Well, hold on. Which one? My thought of you or the app?
Talk about the app first if you want, and then talk about
okay
how our relationship blossomed.
All right. So I found.
Because everyone has to know that this has felt very natural, hasn't it?
Totally.
Right.
This is that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
I found Periscope, and I don't even know how I found Periscope, but it was a time when my business is solely based on how many people I'm exposed to, what I'm doing, and I don't have a salary. It's what I do. So I had been doing Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff, because that's what you're supposed to do if you have an online business and all that stuff. Well, someone had told me about Periscope, and I turned it on. I was like, oh boy, this is my thing, because I get to be on stage. So I loved it, and immediately. But as soon as I turned it on, I started looking at the map. And my father was born in Hong Kong, and so we have a lot of relatives from China, Hong Kong area, and so I wanted to learn about Hong Kong. And so I turned on Hong Kong, didn't find any Chinese people, but I found this British guy, and I was like, and I immediately was like, he's funny. He's got a good sense of humor, very sarcastic. I think one of the first things I said to you is like, you're really facetious, right?
Yes.
It was something about being facetious.
Yeah.
And we had the same exact sense of humor. And we laughed, and I just started watching him, and then I started scoping. Almost like the second day I got Periscope, I was like, this is it. So we just have developed this relationship since then. That's how it all started.
Yeah.
And I was just like, in your scopes, we were always laughing, a lot of laughing. And I got to see
a lot cruder back in those days.
Yeah, it was a lot cruder.
Yeah.
We love that.
Okay, so we were talking about connections and then Hong Kong being cruder.
About the first time I started watching you,
Yeah.
and about how we had the same sense of humor.
Yeah.
And I was just one of your regulars all the time. And I don't know when you started watching me. That's when I did a lot of meditation scopes. At the beginning, I did a lot of meditation scopes.
I remember deliberately following you for a reason, and there was just a feeling, oh, I should follow this guy.
What was that feeling?
I don't know what the feeling was. Hi, Stephen. But I do remember your profile picture, your really first profile picture. Neil deGrasse. I confused Max for Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, that's right.
Picture. He had a very straight sort of
very
heterosexual
short
haircut. And then the picture looked dark, and I thought, this guy looks like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
And I was like, who is that? And I didn't know who it was. And then after I found out who it was, I was like, oh, I know that guy. It's the guy that was part of the Rose Center, Science Center in New York City.
Yeah, I had to explain to you.
Yeah. No, but I looked him up after that. So yeah, anyway. But I don't really look like him.
But the interesting part, and this is where Periscope comes in and making connections, for me anyway, is that we're having these shared experiences and we remember fragments of each other's periscopes. I mean, before then you couldn't save your periscope. So
that's right.
If you didn't watch it, you missed out on that person's life. And there were some things that we have been speaking about. We won't go into it because we don't really want to make this about us. We want to talk about how relationships are being formed on Periscope itself. Okay, so we're just giving you a little bit of a taste. But there were things that I've watched, and then you've watched of me, and even today, you were telling me about a near-death experience, and you were talking to me, and then you asked me, "Do you know about this?" And I was like, "No." And you can't always take for granted everything that you broadcast, because I can't always be there in your broadcast, and vice versa.
That's right. That's right.
And sometimes I felt like, oh, I haven't seen Max for a while. I haven't seen that little comment from Max. It's kind of like, oh, a little bit of sadness. And it's interesting how Periscope, or even I guess live streaming, but I don't live stream on other platforms. But it's interesting how it allows you to make that connection with people, but you're just staring at a screen and a little bit of text.
Yeah. But it builds a relationship. A relationship gets built, and it's kind of crazy because I was saying to you earlier, when I first went to the Periscope Summit in San Francisco, I mean, you weren't there, but other people that I watched, that's when I got, oh my God, these are real relationships. This isn't just a screen. This is someone on the screen. And there's some people, you develop a real relationship, and there's people there that were scopers, but then there were people there that were following me that I had never seen before, but I knew their name, and they were like, hi Max, and I was like, who are you? Because they're just that little picture. And it really does develop real relationships. There's no doubt about it. And just like real relationships, you find people that you vibe with, and other people you're like, nope, that doesn't really work. And then there's drama around some of the relationships, bless you. And it's great. I mean, I think it's very interesting in this day and age how you develop relationships. We would never have found each other.
True.
We never would have found each other.
True.
Unless I happened to be like, I'm going to Hong Kong, or you're going to come to New York or California, and we just happen to run into each other.
There's a lot to be said for watching somebody, and it's not like there aren't the same connotations. If you're really into somebody, there aren't the same connotations involved or the same experiences involved as there are with television, where you have all these negative words like you get square eyes, it's brain sucking, it's mind numbing.
Right.
You get these totally different experience from television.
The reason that I gelled with it right away is that I've been a teacher and an actor for so long, and I taught interactive theater. So that's why I knew Periscope was so great, because you had this relationship going on. It wasn't, you don't sit there and just become a couch potato. I mean, you can, I guess, but the value of the whole thing is that we become in your life, and you become into our life if you choose to type in words and stuff like that.
Someone's asking where are you from. I guess we didn't explain that at the beginning.
Originally, I was born in California, and then lived in New York City for, I still have an apartment there, 20-something years, and then I went back to LA. So I kind of lived both places, but I live more in LA now.
Something else that we discussed was that, isn't it interesting that we're having this discussion, and no one in the chat has said, well, that's kind of sad, making a relationship online. And like, no one says that anymore. But back in the 80s, well, maybe all the geeks were on, but once it started to hit, you know, the everyday person on the street, and some people were like, oh, I get it, I get the internet, I get this idea of email and ICQ and net groups or whatever it was. And some people would say,
AOL.
Oh, you're sad. Yeah,
AOL chat rooms.
But they would say, oh, you're sad spending so much time online. And that was 20 years ago. And now you're kind of like, it's kind of awkward if you're not online, because it's so well integrated into our lives, and we just accept it. And some people now being born with it and will never have the experiences
of not having this availability. And especially, you know, it's like, I'm of a generation where I didn't grow up with the internet. The internet didn't come in until I was like later in high school, out of high school into college, and that's when, until my whole adult life I've had it. But growing up, we didn't have it, and so people of my generation, some people of my generation are like, they're still in between. But I'm like, I'm all about it. I'm all about it, and it is about creating relationships, and it's hard to describe why it works, but it just does. And certain platforms, like building relationships on Facebook is a very different thing than building a relationship on Twitter. Building relationships, I feel like this is the best way, live streaming. Don't you?
I totally agree. Like Dr. D is coming, Gary came. And it's like, I'm excited to meet these people.
Totally.
Who, all I know really is just a little bit of text on the screen. I mean, I've seen Dr. D broadcast now and again, and Gary, who's another viewer of mine, and I've seen him broadcast, and it does make a big difference. If someone, like if I follow somebody and they don't scope, and then one day they scope, I'm like, oh, I'm intrigued, I want to know, because there's something that you want to know beyond the text.
You want to know them. You do want to know them. It's like a teaser. Like, who are they? What are they? What's going on? You can pick and choose people that you. Yep, you do.
And you're more than likely. I mean, this is obvious, but you know, how many people do you meet from the television? And yet with Periscope, you can almost meet anybody. We're kind of the same. Unless you're Kevin Hart.
Exactly. And it is weird seeing big, huge celebrities doing it, because sometimes they're sometimes the worst scopers, because they don't get it. They think that the interaction, they don't get the interaction part. And you can always see people that are like a natural scoper, and then people that have to like kind of work their way or warm their way into live streaming, because I think live streaming is, I was born and raised an actor, so I'm used to being in front of a camera. It's very easy for me.
I'm just a fool, so that's my comparison, I guess.
Totally. But what?
I'm a jester.
Jester? Court jester.
Someone said they met Insomnia with Periscope.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of popular. There's a lot of people who've met him or her.
You know, at the beginning, when you first discover this app, that's what people do. They get obsessed with it. Did you get obsessed with it at the beginning? Yeah, I used to watch a lot more scopes, but then as I developed a way of scoping, you can't scope and watch at the same time. It's just not possible. Just like when my business started taking off and I had to scope a lot more and things were really happening, because I mean, to be completely transparent, I mean, I love scoping, but one of the things that I love about it is that it helps my business, and my business has completely changed because of Periscope. So the more that I'm doing it, the more business I have, the less time I have to get under scopes. And to watch other people and discover new people too, because there's always new people. So. Does anybody else have any questions for Max before I start changing topics? But one of the things that I've noticed while waiting for questions, one of the things I've noticed, I've kept saying to you, it's like, basically I see Max normally from head to torso here. That's it, okay? And now he's here, and it's like those people who hold those fake Instagram cutouts, and they're walking around and people take photos of them because they're trying to be in the Instagram. No, it's not a question. Okay. And Max is actually here, and I'm thinking I'm having a one-to-one, but even when I was texting you, your reaction and my reaction, even though like I'm laughing and I just type lol, my reaction is very valid, and I'm making you laugh. There is something happening there that when Max came, this just felt so natural. It's really weird. It feels like we've hung out, all three of us. It feels like we've hung out a million times before. It just kind of feels like, oh yeah, we're gonna hang out. It's very natural, really. But at the same time, it's like, but I know this person from Periscope, and he's not on Periscope, He's
and we're
live
interacting
person.
in real time.
Mhm.
And it's just slightly disorientating. When we met, when we did the private scope, and everyone's like, for everyone else, it's like, oh wow, they're together on the screen.
Yeah.
But for us, it's like we're actually together and we're hugging, and
Yeah.
we're talking.
That's
It's-
great.
Will you collaborate more now when Max gets back home? Well, I already do collaborate with Max. I'm actually a Love in Action TV host for Max. So Max is technically my boss. Okay, I think my P60.
I tell him what to
my
do.
P60 is in the post, but no one's going to get that. P60 is like it's basically you're fired.
Oh, okay.
It's a British.
Your termination?
Yeah, termination letter.
Okay. Now that I've met you, you might be terminated.
Who have you met while you've been in Hong Kong, Periscope wise?
John Ho, Zora, Penguin 6, Rhea,
He's a good boss.
Gary,
Yeah.
you. Oh wait, who else was?
You've met
Who?
basically. He's met all the Hong Kong
Cam.
big scopers,
Yeah.
all of them. What is the best part of meeting each other?
You go first.
No, please. You go first.
It's
You're
how
the
I
guest.
smell, right?
I already knew Max's smell before he even arrived. He sent me a T-shirt, and one of the first things I said to him was, "You smell like my T-shirt." Hello, Jonathan. How are you? I'm also done. Hi, Z45. What was the question again?
What's the best part about meeting each other in real life?
What's the best part? It's all the jokes. It's just straight away. It's everything that we've built up from Periscope, and now I can just. Max knows how I express myself. You don't feel shy. You don't feel uncomfortable, and I've taken my humor a little bit further than what I do on Periscope.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, it doesn't matter. And I haven't felt at all any uncomfortableness.
Not at all.
Like
ever.
It's just been.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
It is.
When you really think about it. We basically had an internet relationship. Now we've seen each other, and it's almost the exact same thing. It just. What's the best thing?
You have kept saying though. You've said this on Periscope, and you've said it a few times. Like you get a vibe from people.
Yes.
And you trust your intuition. Now
I
you're
do.
Max is big on intuition. For those that don't know, Max.
I'm
Generally,
a spiritual teacher, and I teach about intuition, and I teach about your vibration, and I teach about attracting what you want in your life and finding peace and love. So I follow my intuition, and I do it as best as I can. And I knew when I saw you, I was like, there's something. But you know what? I heard your voice. There was a timbre in your voice and how you talked and everything. That was like, that's a funny guy. That's a cool dude. And I think the best thing about is that it's like the best thing about. You know, this is gonna like crazy, but literally, it's like I can actually go like that and like touch you, and it's like, oh my God, you're a real person. It just solidified the whole thing to me. It solidified. Like now, I know for sure we have a relationship. Our rest of our life, we're gonna have a relationship. If we never would have met, both of us could have kind of drifted into the cyberspace world.
possibly, or it becomes passing.
Yeah.
On online. But there was a question here like, how do you feel about Perry community and family? And you can definitely we're going to get into that, Matt, very soon. But it does feel like it solidifies a sense of community. I mean, it's okay if someone agrees with you, another broadcaster agrees with you about something. Let's say something happening to the platform,
Yeah.
people can get behind that. But then when you actually meet, I mean, I already have like a sort of family here anyway,
Yeah.
because there's loads of Hong Kong scopers here, and we're really close. As you know, if you've watched us, we have a team and we collaborate so much, right? And you were going to do an introduction for us way back. You were going to do like an opening. You're going to be our host to open one of our scope team collaborations, but we couldn't organize it.
Yeah.
But Max has already felt part of the Hong Kong family.
Yeah.
Anyway, because you know all the scopers here.
I do. I mean, some more than others.
He's the fifth Beatle.
I'm the fifth Beatle. But you read it because I can't read.
Can
that.
you pretend to be someone else on Facebook and other platforms?
Can you pretend to be someone else?
I guess. Do you pretend to be someone else? I do because I have more than one channel. Right? And they all serve different purposes.
I'm not confused.
So
I'm not
I
sure.
can become a different person on a different channel. Yes, but
I don't understand that question. You mean when I'm on Facebook?
Yeah.
But it's always has my name on it. You mean different sides of my personality? Is that what you mean?
yeah, do you do that? I do.
No.
You know I do because I've got all those channels.
You do have all those channels. No, I'm pretty much the same all the way across.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes I'm pushing more. Sometimes it's a little more business a more business mind
Okay.
sometimes, and other times it's more just me. I tend to my Facebook. That's my regular Facebook. That tends to have that's the only place that I do politics.
Right.
Literally, that's the only place I do politics. I don't usually do politics on Scope. I don't do it on my business pages or anything. I do it on my page, but everyone goes there anyway. So
Yeah, Ames brings up a good point. You can't pretend. And even someone like myself, I have 5 channels. I don't pretend to be someone else. I just show a different side of myself on those channels because I think that's what's relevant in the context of what I'm trying to communicate on that channel. I love seeing you two together. Thank you. I want to get some more crotch from Max's crotch. Sorry, this is what it's been like. I just want more Max crotch. How long as you broadcast? It sounds so right, authentic. Exactly, man. Lisa, yeah, it's authentic.
that's so funny. I probably would have told you to raise this higher if I would, because I usually like the camera above me, but I'm trying to be chill about it.
Yeah, it's his angle.
That is actually one
My
important
angle.
difference. The way a broadcaster scopes, and then you see them in real life.
That's true.
And
Especially with me.
I did a private scope, and you were there live for that.
Yeah.
And because you were watching a lot of the Hong Kong scopers in preparation for coming here.
Yeah.
And I did a private scope where I was talking about little things that I found, like you see the text, and then you meet them in real life, or you meet them online, and you see like a mannerism, a very human trait from them.
Yeah.
And I was talking about it in a private scope. And what was yours? Oh, it was because
When I stood up.
yeah, when you stood up, it's just something
What's
like
the
that.
name of that thing?
I called it the punctum.
Yeah, when you actually get a different view of somebody, you see.
Well,
you
there's
get
a detail. A detail becomes real in what you're looking at.
Right. So what happens is almost all my scopes are portrait, and the camera is like here. So you see this, and my desk is here. So
Yeah.
basically, that's what you see, and I'm always looking up a little bit. So this is the angle that I know I look really good at. So once in a while I'll get up from my desk, and he saw my legs and goes, "Oh, you're a real person."
True.
What?
No, it's just about. I was agreeing with it. I don't remember it now.
Yeah.
My memory. Sorry, I'm firing on all cylinders. I'm trying to speak to Mike, speak to you as well. Matt had a question. The Matt Bob. We've met Matt, I think, in a few private scopes, and he comes to Hong Kong quite often. He's interested in. Is this besides LA? Where else have you travelled because of Periscope? Is it Hong Kong in the first place?
Well, I don't.
Besides New York, I mean, I know you go to New York and Alaska, but I think that's part of your routine anyway.
That's like for work and everything too.
Yeah.
You mean specifically for Periscope? I didn't come here just for Periscope.
No, but during your time periscoping,
Oh, where have I taken people? Where have I been?
I think this is the first where you've travelled, isn't it?
I travel a lot. It's almost always Alaska. It's since Periscope. Yeah, in the last year, I think it's mostly I've been to Alaska and New York. That's it. Yeah, because I haven't been out of the country. Yeah, this is the farthest place I've been. It's Alaska or New York.
Okay. And why did you want to come here?
I really needed a break. I needed to get away from everything from my whole life for a while, and I really wanted to go to Scotland, and that's the first place I was thinking, I want to go to Scotland. I looked at the prices, and I was like, I could afford it, but I don't really want to. And something was like saying, no, no, no. And then I just was like, what about Hong Kong? And I looked, and I was like, and I got a $460 round-trip airfare. I was like, I'm seeing Jonathan and Ray. That's it. So it was a combination, and my family is from here, so I've always wanted to come here.
Okay, yeah, because Max did a scope. I stopped watching TV. Love and Action is a matching site. No, Love and Action TV is a separate Periscope channel.
Yeah.
What was I talking about?
The channel that I've developed.
What was I saying before I read that comment? I shouldn't do that.
Damn it, I know.
You did a scope about your father being born in Hong Kong, so you already have a relationship with Hong Kong.
Yeah, and then my father was born here, and then they moved to Shanghai, and my dad grew up like in Shanghai, and they had to leave because the communists came. They all had to leave, and they first went to Manila, and then they went to the United States, and then I was born. I'm first generation American.
First generation American, last generation.
Last generation.
What have you got inside
mixed.
you?
Oh.
What's your hereditary like?
So my dad is Chinese, Spanish, Filipino, and Portuguese. Okay, so that's my dad. My mom is Norwegian,
Wow.
French, Native American, and a little Irish. So I'm everything. I'm American.
You're a
What-
global citizen.
I'm a global citizen.
Raya's talking off camera, but Raya will be here in the middle between us very soon. I know, there's a lot inside Max. I know.
A lot inside me. So, no, I was going to say, one thing that Periscope does, if you don't have ADD already, the ADD quality of like, what, and everyone on my scopes know it's squirrel, 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 because you can get sidetracked really easy when there's all the comments and you're trying to keep, so just what happened to you.
I want to go back to talking about Hong Kong again.
Yeah.
Because of the connection and everything. What have you done in Hong Kong? How easy? Because I'm always interested in if people come to Hong Kong, how easy have they found it? Because one of the things I try to do, if you don't know who I am, is I always try to promote Hong Kong all the time. And so I want to share experiences, and that's what this Periscope is about. So,
What haven't I done?
yeah. But also, we have to understand that in the context, like, your stay has been augmented because of Periscope. What you've done, you would not have been able to have done without Periscope. If you know what I'm saying. Like, you've met more people straight away.
Well, oh, of course.
Right.
Yeah, it's made a huge difference.
And you got local knowledge, like, forced into you.
It's very different because I love travel, forced into me, forced.
Yeah, force-fed local knowledge.
Because I
by
love
people.
traveling, and so I travel alone a lot. So like if I go to Paris, I know a couple of people don't really, and if I go other places, I don't. I'm on my own doing my thing. But now, because of you all, I'm like, we're doing this. This is what's going on, and I'm like, okay, let's do it. So it's been go, 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 go. And when I said I needed a little break time, you're like, no.
Yes, actually, this is something that came up. This is really interesting. Like, there's a pace of life here in Hong Kong that I take for granted, Rhea takes for granted, John Ho takes for granted as well. And then me and Rhea took Max to a village. I mean, I'm reducing this down because to me, this is how simple it was. And this is not a slight against Max at all. We've already talked about this,
Yeah.
So I'm explaining for you. Basically, we caught a bus, we went to a village, caught a bus, another bus, and went to a waterfall. And then we were talking
went
about how
to
like
dinner.
you need to slow down a bit. And I'm like, we haven't done anything.
That
To
was
me-
like then the second or third day.
Yeah.
Where I'm on jet lag. I had a 15-hour flight. The day that we get here, we immediately jump into the dim sum lunch, and then that night we're
Dragon
running around
dance.
chasing dragons, and then I'm looking at, at lanterns, and then I go back to the hellhole, and then the next day, what's the next day? We did something the next day, and then the third day is when we went to the village and all this stuff, and I was like, whoa, I just need to like stop for a little bit, just a little bit.
It was like 2 days rest, but I feel like you're taking a break from me.
I wanted to get away
Because
from you, yeah.
Because I don't get any feedback from Rhea, and I don't get any feedback from anybody else in Hong Kong. It's just the way life is here. You just get on with it. But then someone comes into
I
your
hurt
life.
his feelings.
Yeah, he did. I was crying into a pillow for 2 days.
I know, poor thing.
You get the feedback from someone who's new to Hong Kong, and then they're like, whoa.
But this is something that I wanted to say too, is that
Okay.
I think, and I've said it before, I will say it again, Hong Kong is very much like New York City. Because
But
the
faster.
pace, you don't even know. The pace of New York City and Hong Kong is very similar. Lots of people go, 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 go. And, you know, I think
New
for
York
other
doesn't seem
people,
that tough.
other people might not be able to figure out subway systems and all that stuff. I was like, oh yeah, it was all really easy for me because it's very New York-like. So, and I know in New York, it can be like, and then sometimes you just want to sit in your apartment and just be like, I need to just do nothing for a little while. And I'm also on vacation. So
Yeah.
it's very similar to New York. It's
Max,
very similar.
teach Jonathan how to stop and relax. It is a good thing, Zora, that everything is in English. I can read comments, by the way, on my iPad. It's just down here.
Yeah, everything is in English.
Yeah.
So there's no problem.
What's
with it.
amazed you? What's one surprise that you've discovered visiting here?
Surprise. You know what? I don't know. You know what? Here's the deal. I don't usually have a lot of expectation when I go to places. I'm really open. I don't know. I can have an idea, but yeah, I don't think I'm surprised by anything. I think I'm more like curious. Yeah. Oh, I guess. You know what? Not surprised me, but what like is like where we just were, the walled city. We went from a very, this is very kind of New York City too, but from a very intense area that was like pretty rundown to the most beautiful, like Central Park kind of a thing. I like that contrast. The contrast here is, there's a lot of contrast. That's one thing that I like.
Okay,
Not surprised by it, but I know.
Zora did ask, what about how nice the people are?
They're nice. They're great.
There was that guy in the walled city we spoke to.
Oh yeah.
And he admitted like his mother had died, and he very
He was
open.
really, yeah, he was really nice. And then we met another guy, another kid, when he was droning. Another kid walked up to me and he was like, you're technology, you technology. And I'm like, oh, no, he's technology. You're friends, you have business. And it turns out he's from mainland China, and he has just moved here a little while ago. And he was a kid, he was probably like 18 or something. And he was playing basketball. And he was really trying, because you could see we were doing technology things. And he was a very nice guy. Kid, but you could tell he was like, oh, you're. And I said, do you have a smartphone? Oh, I can't afford one and stuff. But he was really nice. People have been nice. So the woman tried to make me stop scoping when I was there, though. Open, 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 open. She meant close, close, close. But in general, people are really nice. I mean, and it's the same as New York City, because people are in a rush. They're living their life. They're doing their thing. That doesn't mean they're rude. That doesn't mean they're mean. It's just that they're doing their thing. And that's why I see that all over the place, especially when I was Causeway Bay yesterday. All those people doing their thing. And I was like, you know what? You might walk around here and think, oh, they're being rude. No, they're just doing their thing. That's it. So.
Zora, Max was talking about food earlier. He's found it very easy, haven't you?
Super easy.
Yeah, if you're a vegetarian, it's super easy.
And if you like McDonald's, you could eat McDonald's every day.
Hey,
3 times a day.
But any little surprises? Like I was telling you today, you can drink alcohol in the 7-Eleven.
Oh yeah, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, you would never.
And on the streets.
Oh, and that you can get your condoms next to your gum near the checkout. That's pretty. That was a surprise. That was a surprise. It was very interesting. Oh, this isn't a surprise, but it's a little shocking. Today when we saw some of the guts.
Yeah.
So his neighborhood has a lot of real cut up meat. And so the guys with the pig over his arm, and I was like, oh yeah, I knew that, yeah, whatever. But what really surprised me,
OKF.
When we turned around the corner and the back of that truck was just the insides of that pig were just hanging there. I was like, whoa, okay. That was a little...
It's not refrigerated.
Yeah, and it smelled like it.
Yeah,
it smelled like it.
Well, don't you think, I mean, you're the best person to compare and contrast. Don't you think, like, Hong Kong people are closer to their food than they are in the States?
Oh, for sure. No doubt about it. And I admire that. I mean, even though I'm not eating meat now...
Bye, Zora.
Bye, Zora. Even though I'm not really eating a lot of meat now, or meat in general, I completely respect that. I think it's a better way to live and eat meat. Actually, they are closer to it. They get it. This is the real thing. It's not sanitized and put into a perfect little... If you're going to eat a pig, that's what it looks like. If you're going to eat a turtle, that's what it looks like. And I feel like it's a much more honest way to eat animals, if you're going to eat them.
What are you going to do in Hong Kong? How many days do you have left? You have 4, 5?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I leave on Monday. 4 days.
What else do you plan to do?
I'm going to go to the Peak, and I'm going to go on the Peak for sure, and I'm going to go to
Have you thought of meeting up with Penguin 6 and going on a walk with him?
Maybe.
See, that's another thing you could do. See, you have that option. You have the option as a periscoper, even as a viewer. You don't have to be a broadcaster. You can just say, I know Penguin 6, and Penguin 6 will say, yeah, come and have a walk with me.
That's right.
And then...
That's one of the things about it. It really creates real relationships. I mean, that's true. Like, I'm not a big, huge Penguin 6 follower, but I go in and scope sometimes. But now I met him, and he was like, oh, yeah, sure, he's chill.
Yeah.
And that's the value of building relationships through Periscope is like crazy. Like, you're like, oh, I know him. Yeah, now I know him.
Yeah, and you have that as an option as a tourist.
Yeah, for sure. It's great.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Not Disneyland, though. Melanie, cut it with the D word. We don't like not that D word, not in my scopes.
I'm probably not going to do it because I don't have enough time.
Oh, no.
I'm going to go to the gay bar. Well, I have a couple of options for the gay bars. So I think Mikey is going to we're gonna go something on Saturday.
Mikey is
But
also
then-
someone that you met.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I met Mikey yesterday. She's so sweet, really nice, and
But that was from an interview that I was doing about transgender issues in Hong Kong. Max was there, just happened to be there in the scope, and then she started following you.
yeah, and she only follows a couple of
Yeah,
people.
and I completely forgot about that. And the thing is, when we were meeting up yesterday,
And I didn't really realize it until she found me on the platform there. And she's like, Max, and I was like, oh, hi.
yeah, because I was expecting. This is one of the subtle differences. I was expecting to get you, and then for me to take you to her.
Yeah.
But you already have a relationship, so I was late, and it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
You were already eating.
Yeah.
You didn't need.
Didn't need you.
Exactly. You just
I
didn't
don't need
me.
you. Just skipped over you.
See ya.
Exactly. So yeah, so I'm gonna do the. Oh, and then DJ. What's his name?
DJ Stone
Evan?
Dog.
Yeah, I don't know.
Haven't
when
met him
we-
yet, but we've got a big dinner planned.
but also,
No, not yet.
yeah. So, but there's some party at his thing on Thursday night. Did you hear about that?
No.
Oh, so John Ho told me he has this
I'm
big
not
party
invited.
on Thursday night at his.
Penguin's here, actually. You can ask him. Can I
Hey,
go to the peak with
Penguin.
you?
Hey, Penguin! Hold on one second. Let me get. Now it's like a million things. No, but he's having some. I think it's his 100th scope or something like that. Thursday.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
he's
he
having a
texted
big
me.
party.
Right.
And through John Ho, John's like, oh, Evan didn't ask you. He wants you to host something or do something at the 100th. And I'm like, I haven't even met him yet. I'm like, okay, sure. So.
Penguin, Max wants to ask you.
Yes, so I need to go to the peak at some point, so maybe I can come with you. Maybe I can come with you. I don't know.
He's doing 10,000 steps.
Yeah,
Sure.
and I've already got my. What does he say? I can't see
Said
it.
sure.
Sure. Cool. Sure. Okay, I will.
Just like that.
We'll be in touch. Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions? 'Cause I
Oh,
want-
I'm going to the ballet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to the
So,
ballet.
Gay bar, ballet.
Do you think I'm gay? I'm going to
No,
go to the gay bar.
You're the
I'm going to
straightest.
ballet.
You're the straightest man I've ever met.
And I'm going to. Might go to Disneyland too. but-
Straight is in like you know where you stand with Max.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I went by the cultural center and had the ballet, and I was like, usually going to the ballet in the States is expensive, and I was like, well, let me just look. It's $35 for like fifth row center
US.
seats. Yeah. I was like, wow, that was amazing. I'm like, I'm going. So I like the ballet.
So bars, ballet,
Bars, ballet,
peak.
peak. That's it. And then I want to chill. Oh, I need to chill a little bit. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I'm working Sunday, so you probably won't see me Sunday anyway.
That's my last day.
No, Monday's your last day.
I leave on Monday morning. My flight's at 10 o'clock, so Sunday's really my last day.
Well, I can make time for you after I finish work if you want. It's okay. Well, you only live around the corner.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Rayo will be free on Sunday.
We have to do the shoe thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. You haven't done the Star Ferry yet.
Oh, I haven't done that.
He hasn't done the Star
I
Ferry.
did the
but
junk.
You did the junk.
The
And
junk.
I've never done the junk.
The junk was cool.
Yeah.
There was a lot of jokes about my junk.
Yeah.
I brought my junk on the junk. So yeah, there's a lot of jokes.
I want to talk to you a little bit
Junk
about.
jokes.
We talked about relationships.
Why are people still
connecting.
watching this? I just can't believe it.
We talked about
There's
Hong
still
Kong
40
a little
people
bit.
watching.
But what I want to do is talk a little bit about Periscope itself.
Yes.
I want to talk about what you do on Periscope and some of the hurdles that we've discussed, because it does seem kind of uncanny. So basically, we go on Periscope. We use Periscope all the time.
Yeah.
We go on that main list. Some of us who have not yet learned not to go on that main list, and all we see sometimes are scopes that don't seem to add any value. But obviously, it's subjective. There are obviously people will get a lot of value. But one of the things that you pointed out is that a lot of religious scopes, a lot of preacher scopes,
On the trending list.
and there's always like the first church of Periscope.
Yeah.
All these things are on the trending list. And I've never seen the yoga scopes, any sort of...
there's very, very few kind of my spirituality scopes
Yeah.
that are more open. That's not a religious scope. There's open spirituality. Yeah, there's not yoga people. There's not meditation people. There's not really any kind of, like I do intuitive readings and that kind of stuff. They're never on the trending list. But the trending list.
I told
I thought Putty Cat. But it's always those super big pastors that millions of people and they're super Christian. Those people are on there.
And then it makes me think, why? Now I live in
Why
Hong
do
Kong.
they choose that? I don't get it.
I'm not in the States. I don't, I only have a very surface level knowledge of the States. And for me, it's kind of weird because these pastascopes seem to like represent a different part of America. They don't seem to be located in California. Yet Periscope and the tech industry are located in California. And there is this big, even I know this, there's this big drive, like technology and spirituality seem to go hand in hand. Mm-hmm. They don't conflict, and spirituality is a sort of remedy against this overindulgence of technology. So like at the moment, I limit myself with my phone, and it's about developing a sense of space and time for technology.
Yeah.
And really, spirituality would seem to want to aid you in that. And then you hear about the lifestyle in California. And so for me, it feels very much like it's natural, like it's part of the culture. And so then it's odd that Periscope, which is on the West Coast, isn't promoting.
Yeah, you would think so, but it's not. I mean, those are all real, like the lifestyle of California. I mean, that's kind of more of a generalization. Like you're saying, that's all like healthy and new agey and everything.
Yeah.
Well, it is in a way, but not everybody, not everyone. I mean, there's a lot of people there. I'll say this.
Though.
I feel like Periscope wants to. This is just my feeling. Periscope wants to push adventure, travel, and people that already have a lot of people, like followers, like those big pastors. So if you're a traveler, and you're an adventure person, or you're a GoPro person, or a big pastor, or a movie star, that's what they want to push. They don't want to push these other ones that are teaching people about finding inner peace, and they don't want to do that. They just don't want to do that. I don't understand why. But I think because originally, before Periscope, it was called something else. I forget. But those guys, Kayvon was part of that group.
I don't know this.
Yeah, it started from another. It was another app kind of, but it became called itself Periscope.
Oh, okay.
Their whole idea was it was only going to be adventure. That was their whole thing. It was about travel and adventure. That's what they wanted it to be. But then they were like, wait a second, we can't control whether this is a public app. What?
No, it's the lights. My head sort of disappears. It's bad lighting.
So they can't control, because a lot of us on here want to teach about spirituality. They want to teach about peace and everything. They don't really want that. That's what my belief. I think that they want to push. Like you, I mean, you're kind of doing it. You're like, my thing's about Hong Kong.
Yeah, but we don't get much love either.
I know. But you'll probably get more love when you start doing your drones. That's more adventure.
Maybe, but
it's more adventure.
A lot of.
I'm going to figure out how to drone meditation.
Do a drone meditation scope.
I'm going to do a drone meditation.
The thing is, though, you do get some scopers who are promoted, and it's because they have a drone. Or someone's doing a virtual reality thing, right? And it looks cool, and they get the numbers, but there's there's nothing to sustain your interest, because I don't think the community is being looked at by Periscope itself. It's the community that drives the platform, not the latest VR scope, not that, oh my god, I just went to a beach and I was flying over this port town or whatever, of a part of the world you've never seen.
Well, you look at Dan Moore and Mitch Oates. They were start off like, we're here, we're there, we're here, we're there. And they've and Mitch has done the whole drone scope, and then he was the first underwater scope and all of that stuff. That was so big, such a big deal. And they've just left. Every once in a while they're on, every once in a while, but they've kind of gone too. I think that there's a saturation point with Periscope too. Now being on it for a while, there's a saturation point for the broadcaster, and I think for the viewer. There's a point where it's like, it's just too much. Got to get away from it for a while. And I think that I probably hit that wall a little bit too, where it's like, okay, don't look at me. I don't want to even look at me. I think that there is a saturation point, don't you think?
Yeah, well, I think there's many things, but one of them is like people run out of content to broadcast.
Thank you.
Unless they think longer term. Like, how do I develop as a live streamer? Because with YouTubers, you can just develop something, edit it in isolation, without any pressure, and then you don't get notifications from a subscription on YouTube. So there's no fatigue, and you're not stressing anybody out. Scoping again. he's doing it again.
Busker's better in many ways.
Those guys have their product endorsements. They have achieved what they wanted out of Periscope.
Yes,
This is
you're
amazing.
right.
Your travel scopes, I love them. Okay.
Thanks.
And so some people, I think, they've hit saturation point with what they think they can create.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I can tell you right now that none of the Hong Kong scopers, I don't think, are thinking like this. We don't feel
Periscope
like,
is too
we're running
small
out of
playground.
we're running out of content. We're always thinking of new things, and
Yeah.
we are. There are things happening. We have discussed it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know Anita, and then at the same time, Anita BJ.
Busker is better.
I don't know Anita BJ.
Hi, Adam.
I'm on Busker, but Busker doesn't have the people. Sadly,
I'll tell you, when I go on Busker, I usually
you use it.
I do use it, and I use it pretty much exclusively to do readings because I'm do intuitive readings. Almost every time I go there, I make some money.
Oh.
And my thing is for my business too. So I go there and I'll go on for an hour and I make $60. I'm going for an hour and I make $80, whatever. So.
But what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to tie this back to the beginning of the conversation.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Periscope are promoting
We're all over the place.
these wonderful, VR scopes, drone scopes, okay, all these technology scopes, and yet where are the scopes that develop connections? Where I don't really fancy. Facebook doesn't have a community really,
Well,
and yet YouTube does have a community. Periscope has a community, but it feels like Periscope doesn't know what to do with the community.
Yeah.
And here we are. To us, this feels very intrinsic and intuitive. If you excuse me if I steal one of your words.
No, it's
Here we are building.
Don't ever use that word.
Okay, sorry. The I word, right?
But
we're doing something that feels very natural.
And I think it's more individuals are doing it than Periscope as the whole thing. That's right.
It makes me think, well, why? What? I mean, okay, they might want like a big celebrity.
That's right, and you're right, Nicole. I was going to mention that. I've created a Facebook community.
Okay.
From my followers have a Facebook community, the Love in Action Facebook community, and it's really active and it's great. And they're all there for the same reason, for support and to care for each other and to encourage each other. So that's one of the biggest things that I feel like I knew right away. I was like, we have to come off of this for a little while to go build a community somewhere else. And so Facebook was really and it's really good. But you're right, Periscope itself, they're not doing it. They're not going to do it, I don't think.
It's very strange.
And I don't understand why. Because it's based on community. It's based on relationships.
But you then
it's based on that.
You then develop your own homegrown talent that
Thanks.
becomes unique to the platform. But if you're just trying to get the NFL, you're trying to get some celebrity, all that's involved is money. There's no love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there isn't.
There's nothing else to keep you there.
Well, ultimately, it's a business. They're in a business.
Yes.
Periscope's in a business.
Yes.
I'm in a business too.
But there are good businesses and bad businesses, and bad businesses don't seem to care for the community. They don't want to. They don't want to create anything other than just add to the bottom line. And there are some good businesses that are environmentally aware, and it's like, oh, that goodwill has business, has financial value,
Right.
and it always seems to be overlooked. To me, I mean, I'm not a businessman, but when I look at a business and I could sit there in my armchair, literally, here's my arm on the chair, and I'm just like, well, why don't they do this?
Yeah.
There's this moment where you just think, well, yeah, but goodwill does mean so much.
And you would think that nowadays that the philosophy that you're talking about right now is permeating the business world. Really, it is. And so I don't have an answer why Periscope doesn't somehow do that. I don't get it.
It's good to be aware of it, though.
I mean, they tried to, Ryan Bell at the very beginning, and then a few of them at the very beginning who did the Periscope Summit, who's going to do now they change it to, now it's the Streaming Summit or whatever it's called. Thank you, Psyche
At the
Teach.
news channel.
They tried to do the summits, and they had the one in New York, then they had the one in San Francisco, then they're going to have one in Los Angeles. But now it's not Periscope Summit anymore. It's just called Live Summit, because now they want Facebook live streamers, they want YouTube streamers, they want they want to broaden it, and they don't work for Periscope. So I don't understand why they don't do it. I don't get it either. But despite of that, there are people like us that are creating communities. I mean, look at, there's quite a few of them. The Perry Girls, there's the Love Monsters.
I don't know
there's-
these two.
Yeah, those are
Okay.
pretty big. They're pretty big. Lots of people. And so there's a lot of different, and there's Love in Action. There's all these different groups that are coming up. So, in spite of Periscope not supporting us.
Raya.
You come.
Right, we're
You
gonna get
come.
Raya in here.
We get a girl here, a
Get a
woman.
girl with a microphone. She'll be between both microphones. Oh, so for those that don't know,
This sexy, beautiful
this is
woman.
Raya. What do you think? What we've been talking about? Say something like relationships.
Yeah, I feel like I know Max straight away.
I know.
Like, yeah, I mean every
I'll hold
time.
it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
all right,
kind
so
of
no,
weird.
because I'm going to flick back.
So every time like I Max jump on my scope and when I'm on his scope, I always get this like positive high energy level, right? And then now seeing you in person, wow, so good.
Yeah, but didn't we, when sometimes when Max used to come onto our scopes, he would say,
Max! It's
Always,
just the
always.
same.
Intuitively, yeah.
It's the same.
It's the same.
There is no. The only difference is that I can actually go like this. Oh.
Go,
I love it.
go away.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you. I would like to say, by the way, that it is Raya's birthday today. So we have to sing happy birthday to Raya.
Yes,
No.
we do. Yes,
Yeah, we do. So, one, two, three.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Raya. Happy birthday to you.
That's
And
a
many
sound.
more. Yay!
There you go.
We're actually going to go to a dinner tonight.
Thank you.
Wow, Johnny. Thank you for killing the vibe.
Wow.
Whoa.
Johnny. Not you. I'm afraid.
Yeah, not you.
Thank you guys. So my day off today, and also scope.
And it's so funny. I didn't realize this is exactly your birthday. I would have said
it
happy
is.
birthday right away. I didn't know it was the exact day.
Yeah.
Yay!
This is a Virgo.
Virgo.
I'm not like a typical Virgo, am I?
No. You're not a typical woman. What are you talking about?
Ah.
Right. Okay.
So,
Kill this scope
So-
like no one's coming anymore.
everyone's busy crying.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's so sweet.
so romantic.
He's so sweet and so wonderful. I can like look at my face. Really?
Yeah. Yeah, but so, what do you think about community on Periscope? You can either relate it back to the Hong Kong community or...
Yeah, I think the Hong Kong thing is definitely something different from the rest of the world community. Like we get together so easily. Like it's only like half an hour away, and then you just jump on.
Mhm.
And then like when you talk about us meeting together, and I felt the same. Like last time when I was in LA, unfortunately you
I was
were
gone.
in New York.
I was in New York, yeah.
And then straight away I said, "Oh, who wants to like meet up?" And like everyone was so supportive and they're so friendly.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do.
Yeah, you met loads of people when you went to LA, and people were like, Raya, I want to meet you. And some people were driving 3 hours or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
genuine. So
Yeah,
like,
that's
when
amazing.
they come to Hong Kong, we have the same hospitality.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Hospitality. Yeah, so it's a really lovely, good neighborhood. Not
Yeah.
neighborhood, but like a
Community.
very community. Yeah.
Relationships.
But it
Real
augments travel, which is what I'm trying to touch
That's
on with Max.
right.
It augments the travel.
Yeah, same because like I
Yeah.
always travel alone as well.
Yeah.
Almost like
Mhm.
yeah, once a year maybe. Yeah, but like
It's very different.
It's different now, totally different.
'Cause there's
like
people.
Before Periscope, I was just like I don't mind like travel alone, but I think it's always a good thing to explore stuff on my own. But like now with Periscope, like I can go anywhere and then meet up with really friendly people, and then they're so willing to show you around. Yeah, I stopped looking at the camera. But I'm
It connects
still
with connects you with other people that are just as nice as you. That's what it does.
yeah.
Like attracts like.
So I think we attracted some people to come to Hong Kong to visit, right?
For sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of scopes we've done, people have said, oh, you know what, I never really considered Hong Kong, and now I'm going to.
Stuttering.
Stuttering sound.
Stuttering.
That's just the way Raya speaks. Is it stuttering? Is it still
I don't
stuttering?
know.
Or is it
No
me?
idea.
Well, no one else is saying anything.
And
It's okay.
Dr. D is in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Dr. T.
Hey,
Okay.
he's coming.
Do you have any other questions? Because we've been here quite a while,
Yeah.
so we're going to
New
Wrap up the
Zealand,
scope
Australia,
otherwise.
Love in Action meetup in March.
you're a better person because of Periscope.
Oh yeah, they want to.
Oh.
We want to try to do a Love in Action retreat in Australia, possibly.
Right. Okay.
So we'll see. How about that?
Yeah, Hong Kong is beautiful.
Yeah, and I'll say, really, it's because of you all that I was like, oh, I'm gonna go. Because otherwise, if I got a really great flight, I'd be like, well, that might be cool. I'll go. But it's because of all of you being here that I was like, I'm going for sure. It was like the straw that made the decision for me. If you weren't here, I might not. I might have been like, eh. But
and then the
you
option,
here,
yeah.
I was like, I get to meet you. We've been talking about me coming for the whole year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Better person because of Max, knowing there's no language barrier. Yes. And it's another dimension, I think. I mean, I keep saying everyone should come to Hong Kong.
Oh, wait,
but then
cool.
Max has come to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And then just look at the benefits that he gets. It's not because Max is a broadcaster, because we have got a big dinner planned and there are some viewers who are visiting. So it's not because he's a broadcaster and, there's loads of followers and anything like that. It's not. We've made a relationship. Even with my viewers, my own viewers are coming here and it's like, right, let's meet up. Let's do something about it. Take advantage of like the space being brought closer to one another.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at in the scope right now. You're the only one that looks like a normal size. Both of us have huge heads on either side.
Definitely
Whereas-
not. This is definitely.
I know, it's
not
'cause
my
of that.
angle,
Look how big my
right?
finger is.
Like, only works for
My,
her.
what a big finger you have.
Only works for you.
My, what a big.
Test you with.
And Hannah moving from Texas to Hong Kong. Yeah, he's right. Because of you,
What?
Hannah,
Who's Hannah?
a teacher.
Oh yeah, Hannah. Yeah, yes, Hannah. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Jonathan's just like me sometimes.
Just like,
I'm like, huh? What?
Because I know her as the Hamburglar,
Hamburglar.
right?
That's
I
right.
hardly ever see Hannah, but yes.
And that's the other thing. Like when we meet up and then we go by handle.
Oh, by the candle? Yeah, that's right. And then, but if you're the broadcaster, it's like something they all know what your name is. But sometimes with people that are just viewers, you only know
And
by
that's
their
scary.
handle.
I can
Right,
never
Gary,
say. I can never say his handle. Like what?
Gary,
are
you're-
are
Key
they
to
sir?
Yeah, Gary, your name is too hard. I just don't get it.
It's like sir.
And I'm really rude sometimes with some of my regulars. I'm like, you had to change your name. Change that name. It's too hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to wrap this up. I want to say thank you to Max for coming all the way
Thank you
from
to Jonathan.
LA to sit on this sofa with me.
That's right.
That's circus hand.
Thank you, Rhea, for sitting there waiting patiently for your turn.
It's
No,
good.
she was just reading something.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'd like to thank the Mahjong.
Mahjong.
Sorry, this does sound like an advert, but I do have to literally thank the Mahjong because
Yeah.
they're allowing me in their space. Okay, so if you're interested in visiting Hong Kong, you should try out this Airbnb, the Mahjong. Okay, in To Kwa Wan.
It's
They're
super
very
cool.
good. It is super
I
cool.
think
The
Yeah, it's very cool.
MahjongHK.com.
It's very cool. I would stay here if I would sleep with other people, but I like
Yeah.
sleeping alone.
They do female-only rooms. They do mixed rooms, and then they do couple rooms as well. And there's actually another private lounge just for the couples. Okay.
I think that cube is super nice.
And I
super
want to
cool.
and I want to say publicly that Jonathan and Rhea have been just amazing people. I just love them to death. They're such good people. They're awesome, and we're gonna be friends
jealous?
for
What's that
life. Friends for life.
jealous? Jealous?
No,
Careful.
I hug Max all the time.
That's
I
right.
hugged him
Yeah.
first anyway.
That's right.
did before
That's
you.
right. No, and to thank you all both for being so incredible.
You're welcome.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Max.
Yay!